Okay, so pulled an all-nighter because I had a test, but I'm ready. So I decided last minute that I'm gonna do two. They're both pieces on heartbreak, not the same game, but it's completely different. So the first one is from my perspective, and the second one I see things from his perspective. So this one's called Love to Death. Alright. I hate you, but I really just love you, because hating you seems easier to do out of the two. And all that we've been through is that thing that makes up this world too. You see, I know that you're no good for me, but my vision shot, it's only you I see. And when it's good, it feels like ecstasy. Didn't you say that we were meant to be? And that and all those other love cliches like, if you really love them, set him free. It sounds so lame, but it seems as if our relationship is really turning out that way. You see, I hate you, but this is just my broken heart's expression. Because being angry, it's a shitload less than being depressed. So while I try my hardest to suppress this truth within my chest, the next day I'm confessing how much I love you and miss you, breaking down in an ocean of tears during therapy session. And these days I'm not one with this recession. I'm broke and hearted. And you disregarded what happened when you departed. Like when you told me to surrender when my heart was guarded. Don't get me started on what would happen if my heart were to be discarded. I warned you not to mess with broken girls, cause when we break for love's sake, we get mental and retarded. So here I am feeling crazy, dead, empty. In other words, my heart broke. And these days I wake up with my heart stuck in my throat. I try my hardest not to choke, but I always choke up over these regrets. And then my heart starts to wrap around my neck like a thick rope, and then I'm really choking, hanging from a tree with a suicide note. While my body goes to waste, all the drama and all the hate and all the sadness and the madness and the years and years of tears that refuse to soothe or give refuge to this confused, battered, broken and bruised, almost quarter century used and abused, manipulated. Can't keep my head up because it's been decapitated, t-shirt completely saturated in my tears. I thought crying correlated with venting and spiritual cleansing, but it's just so much more upsetting. Waking up looking like total shit in the morning with puffy eyes and face swelling. All these things get lifted off my shoulders as I get closer and closer to that familiar bright white light, and finally, it's gonna be alright. I'm gonna be alright. And then with the speed of light, I sit upright. It was only a dream I had last night. Now I know that love and intentional demise is not, Now I know that speaking of love and intentional demise is not very wise, but love is foolish. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4, lied on that statement of love is patient and love is kind. It should have been love is heinous and love is blind, and love is very, very, very much indeed unkind. Look what you did to me. I said, how could you do this to me? You said that we were meant to be. You used to call me your wifey. Did you do this to spite me? You said there's nobody like me, nobody but me, but you chose that other woman above me. I'm gonna tell you real bluntly, you just fucked with MisLeeDing. Thought you could diss me, but you messed with the wrong bitch, see? I warned you not to mess with broken girls that break for love's sake. Next thing you know, I'm shedding tattooed tears on both sides of my face. One tear for you, and one for me. Because love can't exist in a world full of hate. And by God's grace, we will love again as we enter into heaven's gates. So I would love to that. I haven't performed that in like a year or like a long time, so I almost forgot it. So this one, I'm actually an MC. I rap. So this one, it's called, do you guys know what happened at the end, by the way, of Love to Death?
Murder-suicide? Like,
tattoo to represent, no, you killed somebody, so one for you. That's why it's called Love to Death. I know it's crazy, but, you know, expression. So this one I wrote fairly recently. It's called Farewell to Arms, and it's total flip side, so it's like this. What is there left to say? I guess it's time to confess this truth within my chest that I was blind to. Behind every line, just came to realize the hidden reason for the sorrow that I feel inside. Or was it soul cry? The first song I wrote. It only took a couple of days after my heart you broke. The pain in my voice, a flood in my throat, and words that leave a spirit desolate and starved of hope. So why? I really gotta ask myself, cause I was lost within the bitterness and hate I felt, the shit I dealt with. Oh, was it really me? Cause a broken heart only chooses what it wants to see. Some call it stubbornness, some call it ignorance. I say it's preservation for the ones that wish for death. That's how it's always been. Ain't no secret, I got evidence marked on my skin. The sky is clear, the clouds are slowly fading away, and the light is shedding truth upon me every day. You were the rising sun, I was the blue moon. This is farewell to the only love I ever knew. I come to realize the damage that I did. I couldn't face it or admit it like a foolish kid. I brushed it off and said, this is the way I am. Take it or leave it, and you'll never find a lady friend that comes close to me, that looks quite like me, talks like me, walks like me, fucks like me. I was over my head, a bottomless pit, demanding for a type of love that doesn't exist. See, I was love-starved from the life I lived, a broken home, abusive men, and all those fucked up friends. What I expect, clean up this mess. Cause if you really love me, you tolerate my brokenness, my hopelessness. Hold my hand as I drown in this teary ocean I've blamed you with. You'll pay for this, a debt that wasn't even yours. A ludicrous amount you didn't have the ends for. The sky is clear, the clouds are slowly fading away, and the light is shedding truth upon me every day. You were the rising sun, I was the blue moon. This is farewell to the only love I ever knew. I couldn't even cry as bad as I wanted to, because my spirit left this body on these wings that flew up to the sky to search for heaven that I once knew. That even angels fall and face eternal doom. So I'm consumed in this fiery hell, refuse to soothe the give refuse to this battered, broken and bruised, abused and used. And so I asked God, begging on my knees, but I forgot that we done fell off. Back in '02, it was the same thing. My heart was shattered into pieces, I was 15. And so I hated God for giving me this ability to feel extremities of sorrow and bliss. I wish I was shallow, a surface treader, cause maybe then I wouldn't feel my life was a fucking error. But never will I see the sunshiny weather, cause I'm deeper than the ocean and I think I'm going under. The end is here, my mind is slowly slipping away. How could this be? I never thought I'd see this day. You were the only one, but I was so lost. This is goodbye to the only one I ever loved. The end is here, my mind is slowly slipping away. How could this be? I never thought I'd see this day. You were the only one, but I was so lost. This is goodbye to the only one I ever loved. Thank you.
What we need more in hip hop is people actually being real and talking about feelings and not just playing and their rims and
Thank
shit.
you.
So true. So true. And speaking of which, and everybody give it up one more time for Miss Lee.
Shout out to Kirsten so much. Was there a profanity roll?